This is Thursday morning. It's the fourth weekday of Advent. My name is Tom. I'm from Emmanuel Episcopal Church. We're doing this every weekday during Advent, offering a word of encouragement from the readings for the daily office. And today I was reminded of a story I heard of a British couple who lived in the era before cell phones. So in other words, my era, and their kid was away on a trip around the world with college friends. And this daughter of theirs had not spoken to them in 2 weeks. And they started to let their imagination run wild with them. They were worried, is she dead? Is she in prison somewhere? Is she in a bad situation? And they tried to get in touch with her. They tried to get in touch with friends. No luck. And they became so worried that they asked their church to come together and have a time of prayer for their daughter's safety. And it makes me think of my college experience and how many weeks and sometimes longer that I went without calling my parents to tell them I was okay, and how I feel bad about that this morning. But the next morning after the prayer meeting, their phone rang and it was their daughter just calling them to chat. She was fine, of course, and they were so relieved to hear that and let the church know. Well, in our second reading this morning, which is from 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, I think it's 1 through 10, we hear about Paul's concern for the church in Thessalonica. He's been gone for a while. He's worried. He's worried about persecution. He's worried about weak faith. He's worried they might have questions. So he sends Timothy. And Timothy comes back to Paul, who's in Greece, and tells them, hey, they're doing pretty well. They have some questions, but they're doing pretty well. Their faith is strong. And so Paul realized he didn't need to worry. And both of these stories remind me of the need we all have for community, for support, and the general worries of life. But it also reminds me of the power of community when we find out that those worries have proven true. When the bad thing we couldn't imagine happens. What do we do? And a lot of us in this era, our strongest community is maybe just one based on common interests. Like, I'm in a group of people who like to barbecue, or folks who like to cook, or we like to ride bikes. And those are good communities. I have communities and friendships like that. And if you stay in those communities long enough, they can develop into real strong friendships and relationships. But sometimes we need community that's stronger than that when we're going through tough times. We need someone who's with us when we say stupid stuff, or when we act less than our best selves, or when we need to speak difficult truths to each other. And in Advent, I'm reminded of Jesus, of course, who is the ultimate example of self-sacrificial love. And that is the thing we need in real community. A community that's centered on loving our neighbor as ourselves. Community that's centered on treating each other like we're siblings in the same family. Community that's built around deep and abiding convictions and truths. And that's hard to find in the world. It's hard to find in the church. But it exists. And so, if you're sitting here listening to me and you haven't been to church since before COVID, hey, give it another try. Remember what it was about. And if you're sitting here and you have a strong community, today's a good day to open our eyes and look for the people around us who maybe don't and who could use an encouraging word or some help. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow for another Advent Word.